If your mind is racing at 1,000 miles per hour and your life feels like controlled chaos, where one bad day unravels everything, it's not bad luck. It's not the universe against you. It's that you've been operating in survival mode for months without realizing it. And every time you try to fix it, you go big. New year, new me, total life, overhaul, gym 6 days a week. Perfect diet. Wake up at 5 a.m. And by week 3 you're back where you started, feeling like a failure. The problem isn't your discipline, it's your approach. You're trying to outrun chaos instead of building resilience. And resilience isn't loud. It's not a massive transformation. It's a series of tiny, boring principles that Japanese culture has been practicing for centuries, while the West is just now figuring out they work. I'm about to break down 9 Japanese resilience principles that explain why you keep restarting, why you crumble under pressure, and how to build a mind so steady that setbacks don't destroy you. They just inform your next move. These aren't motivational quotes. They're systems. And if you apply even 3 of these, you'll notice a shift in how you handle life within 2 weeks. Let's go. This is the principle of continuous improvement through micro steps. The West loves the idea of transformation, the dramatic before and after. Lose 50 pounds in 3 months. Build a 6-figure business in a year. Go from broken to healed in 90 days. That's not how humans work. That's not how change works. Your brain resists massive shifts because it interprets them as threats. Big change equals danger. So it sabotages you. You procrastinate. You lose motivation. You quit. That's not weakness. That's biology. Kaizen flips this. Instead of trying to change 50 overnight, you improve 1 daily. So small, your brain doesn't notice. So small you can't fail. Want to start working out? Don't commit to an hour. Commit to 1 push-up. 1. That's it. Your brain can't argue with 1 push-up. And once you do 1, you'll do 5. Once you do 5, you'll do 25. But you started with 1. That's Kaizen. The philosophy is this. Small improvements compound. 1 better daily equals 37 times better in a year. That's not motivation. That's math. Stop trying to overhaul your life in a weekend. Start with the smallest possible version of the change you want. 1 page, 1 minute, 1 email. Make it so small you can't say no. That's resilience. Not the ability to endure massive pain. The ability to keep moving even when the steps are invisible. Gaman. This translates roughly to enduring the unbearable with patience and dignity. The West interprets resilience as toughness. Grit, push through, never quit. That works until it doesn't. Until you burn out. Until you burn out. Until you break. Gay man is different. It's not about pretending pain doesn't exist. It's about acknowledging pain and choosing not to let it control you. It's the difference between I'm not in pain, and I'm in pain, and I'm continuing anyway. Most people collapse the moment things get hard because they believe discomfort means they're doing something wrong. They're not. Discomfort means they're doing something new. Gaman teaches you to sit with discomfort without reacting. Your business is failing. Gaman says sit with that. Don't spiral. Don't panic pivot. Sit with the discomfort and let the next move reveal itself. Your relationship is struggling. Gaman says don't explode. Don't shut down. Sit with the tension and respond. Don't react. This is resilience, not avoiding pain. Choosing how you respond to it. The West is obsessed with comfort. The Japanese understand that growth lives in discomfort and the person who can endure discomfort without crumbling is the person who wins. Shikata ga nai. This means it cannot be helped. The West fights reality. We argue with what is. We spend energy wishing things were different, replaying scenarios, obsessing over what we should have done. That's not resilience, that's resistance, and resistance drains you. Shikata ga nai is the practice of accepting what you can't change, so you can focus energy on what you can. You got fired. Shikata ga nai. It happened. You can't undo it. So stop wasting mental energy replaying it. Focus on the next job, the next opportunity, the next move. Your partner left. Shikata ganai. You can't force them back. So stop texting. Stop obsessing. Accept it happened and redirect energy toward healing. This isn't giving up. It's strategic acceptance. Resilient people don't waste energy fighting unchangeable realities. They accept them fast and move to what they can control. That's the shift. Stop asking why did this happen to me and start asking what do I do now that it has. That's Shikata ganai. And it will save you years of suffering, Kintsugi. This is the art of repairing broken pottery with gold, making the cracks visible and beautiful. The philosophy is that brokenness isn't something to hide. It's something to honor. The West treats failure, trauma, and setbacks as things to bury, to get over, to move past as quickly as possible. That's why people break, because they're trying to pretend the cracks don't exist. Kintsugi says the opposite. Highlight the cracks. They're proof you survived. You lost a business. That's not a stain on your resume. That's evidence you took a risk. You went through a painful breakup. That's not damage. That's depth. You struggled with mental health. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. Resilience isn't bouncing back to who you were before the break. It's becoming someone stronger because of the break. Stop trying to hide your scars. They're the most interesting part of your story. Kintsugi teaches that your breaks make you valuable, not damaged. And the person who can own their struggles without shame is the person everyone respects. Wabi-sabi. This is the acceptance of imperfection and impermanence. The West is obsessed with perfection. The perfect body, the perfect career, the perfect relationship. And when reality doesn't match the fantasy, people collapse, they quit, they spiral, they think if it's not perfect, it's broken. Wabi-sabi says, perfection is a lie. Everything is flawed. Everything is temporary. And that's what makes it beautiful. Your life isn't perfect. It's not supposed to be. Your body isn't perfect. It's not supposed to be. Your work isn't perfect. It's not supposed to be. Stop holding yourself to a standard that doesn't exist. Wabi-sabi teaches you to find beauty in the mess, in the cracks, in the imperfections. This is resilience, not the pursuit of flawlessness, the acceptance that flawed is enough. You don't need to be perfect to be valuable. You just need to keep going, imperfectly, consistently. That's the game. Obaitori. This principle says you cannot compare trees. A cherry blossom and an oak grow at different rates, bloom at different times, and serve different purposes. The West is obsessed with comparison. Everyone's ahead of you. Everyone's doing better. You're falling behind. That narrative destroys resilience because you're measuring your progress against someone else's timeline. Obaitori says stop. You're not behind. You're on your own path. Your timeline is yours. Your growth is yours. Someone else's success doesn't diminish yours. Someone else's speed doesn't mean you're slow. The cherry blossom doesn't look at the oak and feel inadequate because it's not as tall. It just blooms when it's ready. That's resilience. Trusting your process even when everyone around you seems further along. Your season will come, but only if you stop abandoning your growth to chase someone else's. Ikigai. This is your reason for being. The thing that makes you get up in the morning. The West treats purpose like a luxury. Something you figure out after you're successful. The Japanese understand it's the foundation. Without purpose, resilience crumbles. Because when life gets hard, you have no reason to keep going. Ikigai is the intersection of what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. Find that intersection, and you have a reason to endure anything, to endure anything. Most people quit because they're building a life they don't actually want. They're chasing money, status, approval. And when it gets hard, they have no reason to keep going. Because the goal was never theirs. It was someone else's. Ikigai teaches you to find your reason. Your real reason. The thing that matters so much, you do it even if no one was watching. That's what builds resilience. Not toughness, purpose. When you have a reason bigger than the pain becomes tolerable. Shogunai. This means it is what it is. Similar to shikataganai, but more focused on letting go of control. The West believes if you work hard enough, you can control outcomes. You can't. You can control effort. You can control intention. You can control action. But outcomes? Those are influenced by 1,000 variables you don't control. Shogunai teaches you to do your best and release attachment to results. You applied for the job. Did your best in the interview. Didn't get it. Shogunai, you did what you could. The outcome wasn't in your hands. Move on. You trained for the race, gave it everything. Didn't place, Shogunai. You showed up. That's what you control. This is resilience. Not needing every effort to succeed. Trusting that effort itself is the point. The West measures success by outcomes. The Japanese measure it by integrity of action. Did you show up? Did you try? Did you give your best? That's success. The outcome is just data for next time. Gambaru. This means to persist with effort and determination. But it's different from Western hustle culture. Hustle says go harder, sleep less, sacrifice everything. Gambaru says persist, but with balance, with respect for your limits. It's sustained effort over time, not explosive effort that burns you out. Resilience isn't sprinting until you collapse. It's walking every day for years. Gambaru is showing up consistently, even when you don't feel like it. Even when progress is invisible. Even when nobody's watching. That's the secret. Consistency beats intensity. The person who works 1 hour daily for a year will beat the person who works 12 hours daily for a month, then quits. Gambaru is the discipline to keep going when motivation is gone, when the excitement fades, when it's just you and the work and nobody's clapping. That's resilience. The ability to persist when persistence is boring. So here's how you apply these tips. Pick 3 principles that hit hardest. Maybe it's Kaizen because you keep trying to overhaul your life and failing. Maybe it's Kintsugi because you're hiding your struggles instead of owning them. Maybe it's Ikigai because you have no reason to keep going when things get hard. Pick 3, write them down, and for the next 30 days filter your decisions through them. When you want to quit, ask what would Gammon do? When you're comparing yourself to others, ask what would Obeitori do? When you're obsessing over an outcome you can't control, ask what would Shogunai do? These aren't just philosophies, they're decision-making frameworks. And the more you use them, the more resilient you become. Not because you're tougher, but because you're wiser. Here's the truth. Resilience isn't something you're born with it. It's something you build. One small decision at a time. One moment of choosing to keep going when quitting is easier. One moment of accepting what you can't change and focusing on what you can. The Japanese have been building this for centuries. The West is just now catching up. But the principles are here. They're simple. They're boring. And they work. Stop chasing transformation. Start practicing resilience. And watch how everything changes. Not overnight. Slowly. Steadily. Unshakably. That's the point. Now, tell me, which principle hit hardest? Which one are you going to practice first? Drop a comment. Because the person brave enough to admit they need resilience is already more resilient than they think. Subscribe for more frameworks that replace motivation with systems and show you how to build a life that doesn't collapse every time something goes wrong.